So if you're ready to start the session, bring our heels together. Bring our left arm palm up, representing the yin energy. The right arm palm down, representing the yang. And we bow with our eyes lowered in trust and in friendship. Just relax and empty your arms. And as we step out into our hip width, just remember nothing should hurt today and always to listen to your body. So in this first part of the session, which is our learning part, we're going to just walk through our stances, the 3 leg positions and body positions we're going to use in the session today. The first one is our bear stance. It's typically hip width, shoulder width, hip width. If you're too wide and coming in, if you're too narrow, it'll be a bit tight. So just find which feels comfortable. Always have your knees nice and soft. If you can, gently pull the tummy in and sit as if we're going to sit back on a bar stool. And you'll notice that my feet are pointing forward and that my feet are not out. And if your feet are normally out, just bring them in a little bit. And then after a while, bring them in a bit more. And after a while, bring them in a little bit more. And if anything feels uncomfortable at any time, always stop and just do whatever feels comfortable. Have a little move and do what feels comfortable. So this is the structure of our bear stance, but we're never standing still. We're always moving. So from here, we're going to think about our feet. We're going to let the feet move down into the floor. So I don't want to use the word push, but we're going to connect deep into the floor. And as we do, we're going to lift the body. So we're going to let the body expand. So as our feet go down into the floor, you'll feel your ankles lengthen, your calves, your knees, your thighs. We lengthen up through the hips here. But we don't want to be trying to lengthen all the way up here because that will do this and that's uncomfortable. So nice and gently. So we're just going to practice 3 of those. So feet into the floor. Nice and gently, lengthening, softening. Feel the lengthening come to about here. And then we pull the tummy in and sit back. And just at this point, just breathe normally. Do the movement slowly. Listen to your own body. Now I'm going to do one more. So the second stance we use is leopard stance. It starts in our bear stance, but we take the whole body slightly off center. So we're not shifting the weight. We're not taking the weight over. We're staying in our bear, so our weight is in the middle, and we move our middle slightly off center. And you can see shoulder, hip, knee, and foot are in line. If I go too far, you'll see I'm in a diagonal, putting stress on the ankles, knees, and hips. If I don't go far enough, I'm still in a bear stance, really. So we're going the whole body just off center. And that's the first part of it. The second part is the same as we practiced earlier about sitting back on our bar stool, pulling the tummy in very gently, feeling the pelvis tilt, feeling the knees soften when we sit back on our bar stool. Then very gently, and not a huge movement, so we're not going to come up, 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 up. We just gently push down through the feet to bring ourselves back to the middle. We go just off center again, and then we sit back on our bar stool. Always now thinking about the weight being in the middle and not thinking about bending this knee here. We'll just practice that a couple of more times. Do it slightly from the side so you can see I'm going to go just off center. I'm sitting back. I'm not letting my knees collapse forward. It's just a small, subtle movement to feel nice and steady. We'll do one more to each side. And this is our leopard stance. Now for our dragon and duck. So dragon and duck is like 2 halves of the same movement. From our hip width, we take one walking pace forward. And we always want to stay in the center. You'll see better from here. So we stay nicely in the center. And as I step forward, I'm thinking about being in my center here. So the little things to look out for: the front foot wants to be pointing straight ahead, not out to the side. The knee wants to be over that front foot and not in like this. We want to stay in our middle. We tuck our bottom under here. The back foot, so the weight is even forward and back and right and left. The back foot, it'll either want to be parallel with the other one, pointing forward, or you might find it needs to be turned out slightly. What we don't do is bring it in, which is going to close the hips in and create a problem through the knees and the joints. Instead, we keep the heel on the floor and we turn the toes slightly out. The hips and shoulders stay facing the front, and we're always gently holding this pulling the tummy in. We want to hold it just enough. So if we were a car, and it was car gears, we would just be holding it nicely in maybe first gear. And this is our starting point. It has a name, the starting point. It's called snake stance, but it's just the middle of the two. And if I turn sideways, you'll be able to have a better idea of what's happening. So you can see my front foot isn't back here somewhere, which means I have no movement, nor is it all the way here, which is going to make me feel a little bit out of alignment. It's just enough, staying hip width, just enough so there's space between my front toe and my back. And this is always slightly tucked. Okay, so this is the middle. So now we're going to move into duck stance. And to do that, we're going to just sit there. You just literally pull that in and sit. If you try too hard and you bend and collapse the back knee, you're going to go over to the side like this, which we don't want because it will damage that hip and knee. What you're going to do is just stay in the center. The dragon stance is we keep this back leg nice and steady. It has a softness in it, but it's not collapsed. And we're going to put the heel into the floor. And so we anchor that leg. So it's this leg, the back leg will straighten, but not lock. Always holding this in first gear. Lengthen the back leg and sit. And that means your knee will come over the foot. So the weight is not down on the front knee, which will damage it. We stay in the middle as we let the knee come forward, but our weight is still sort of here. So diagonally a little bit so you see both. Into the middle and tuck. Back foot onto the floor, soften the front knee. So we'll just change legs. So remember to always listen to yourself. If any of this feels uncomfortable or you think it might hurt, don't even try it. Watch, listen, and then have a go if you feel it's right for you. Sit down if you need to. Avoid this position if you need to. So the other leg, from hip width, that walking pace forward. We're not going to worry how we get there. Just get there calmly. That doesn't hurt. That's comfortable for you. And just check that you are hip width. It's really easy to come in narrow. So there we are, hip width. Hips and shoulders face the front, pulling the tummy in so we're nice and steady in our snake stance. So duck stance is we just took that and settle into that really, not doing much more. Nice straight back, nice and steady. And then the dragon stance, we lengthen the back leg without locking it, keeping that heel strong on the floor and let the front knee come forward. Always keeping this held nicely. Into the middle and sit. Move slowly into dragon. Now this isn't easy. This isn't easy at all. I'll do one more from the front, then you can see how I'm staying in the middle all the time. Always going through the middle and not wandering off to the side. So that's quite tricky. And all I'm going to say is, as if this is new to you and you're not quite sure what to do, if you find a sort of middle bit and just be comfortable, if you have to, just let the front knee move forward a little bit, so then it goes all over the front foot, but no more, then you won't ever put too much weight on it and you won't ever damage it. And when you come back into the middle, just stay steady in the middle, and that's far enough back. So we'll have a little go of that. Just letting your front knee come forward a little bit, so it goes over the whole of the front foot, but no further. And then move yourself back to the middle and just stay in the middle. And that's as much as we want to do. All the other stuff can get a little bit complicated, but it'll get easier over the weeks and months as we practice it at the start of each session. Okay, so they're the 3 body positions. What we're going to do now is we're going to do some gentle turning through the waist, which is an exercise, again, we'll be doing in all the sessions that we run. So with our feet parallel, that slight tuck, empty your arms, and gentle turn through the waist here. And what that means is keeping the feet and hips still. We're going to find our navel, empty the arms, and we're going to allow the navel to just slowly move slightly from side to side. And that's it. And the key is to always have the hips pointing forward, not to let those move. If that's difficult, try just sitting on the edge of a chair and doing it. What we don't want is to see this, because you're going to just damage your knees and hips. Nor do we want to see the movement coming from the shoulder, because that's not right either. Just persevere with it. Feet steady, tummy strong, and just this gentle movement backwards and forwards. And again, don't try and do too much. Don't try and get all the way around here and here, because you can see that moves my body and spine out of alignment. We're just rocking backwards and forwards. There are many, many health benefits for this. Some very basic ones. So we're strengthening the legs and the core through here. We're relaxing and easing the top half of the body. So we separate the 2 halves of the body. We're gently massaging all of our internal organs through here and our diaphragm. The gentle rocking backwards and forwards movement loosens up the spine. And we're learning how to let go of the arms as well, just release tension there. The list goes on with this movement. We'll cover it in more detail, perhaps in another session. So while we're here, remember, as I said earlier, this session is all about you. Never to do anything that feels uncomfortable. If you need to sit down, do so. And either join in with the arms or take a rest. Most of all, I'd like you to enjoy this session. And if my arms do something different to what you are doing, it doesn't matter as long as you are flowing and enjoying it. You can't ever get it wrong unless it hurts and you keep doing it. I will mention breath from time to time during the session, the relaxation session. But to be honest, the breath can get in the way, and I try not to mention it very much. So just breathe normally, never hold your breath. Just do whatever breath feels comfortable. So we're now going to slowly unwind. Never come to a sudden stop with this one. And then just take a moment to let your body experience that. You might need to move a little bit. And throughout the session, if you feel that you do need to just calmly move your feet a little bit, move your arms a bit, do so. Don't wait for me to prompt. So that's our gentle walk through all of the stance positions, this lovely turning from the waist. We're going to look at one of the movements now, but we're going to look at one of the concepts within a movement. We're going to look at the shoulders. We always move from here, and the first movement we do within the Qigong, it sort of looks like the hands are coming up, but they're not. They're always going long. We're moving from here, and we're going forward and long, which is completely different to coming up. So if we all just have a little play with this first, if I asked you to, in a tiny, slow, gentle way, start thinking about your arms coming up, what you might find is that starts to come from your shoulders. And we feel this tension coming in. And if throughout the session you feel any tension like that at all, then that's telling you that you're making your moves too big. You're maybe thinking up instead of forward. We go out long, forward. We never ever go up. It's always long, either in this direction. It doesn't matter the direction. It's always long. That keeps your shoulders down, keeps your arms nice and empty, and it also protects your neck and your spine. So this first movement we're about to do in our relaxation session, we start with our arms like this. It's in our bear stance. So we know now from our practice that with our feet on the floor, we're going to softly lengthen through the feet and then soften down again. And we're not lifting and bending. We never bend the knees. We don't want to do anything like that. We never bend the knees in Tai Chi Qigong. We sit back and soften, and the knees will relax, and they only go as far as they feel when they're completely relaxed. So don't ever be tempted to bend them, because you'll just hurt your knees. So from there, lengthen, sit back, empty arms. So the arms then, while we're gently moving, that lovely expanding from the feet, only to about here. We're not trying to come up here, remember. It's just nice, it's softening, constantly opening and softening and easing the joints, easing the muscles, working the tendons and muscles, but easing them, calm. That can feel like quite hard work after a while. So if it feels, before it feels uncomfortable, if you're starting to feel or notice it, stop. Just maybe do the arms, or maybe sit down on the chair you've got beside you, use that instead and just do some arms, or just take a minute and then join back in again. Listen to your own body. I can't see how important that is. Okay, so now if you think about your wrist, we just let the wrist flex, and nice and slowly, we're going to go long, so we're lengthening the arm. I'll do it in a different direction in a minute, you can see better. So we're lengthening the arm, and that's what we're doing. So it's coming long there, and we softly flex them there, and they come long all the way back down, and then we empty and let go. Gently long, and gently come back again. So you'll see my arm is lengthening, but I'm not locking. If I lock, I do this and this. I'm just letting all the tendons and tissue ease and lengthen. And nor am I coming round like this with the elbows. I'm just going straight forward, lengthening the arms, flexing them, and then they're going to lengthen all the way back. So they're long and straight, but they're still soft. So they're not locked, but they're not bent. Now, it depends on your arms. You might have an injury in your arm. You'll know how it feels. Are you all flippy, floppy, relaxed, and just not really engaging with the arms? Or are you yaw long? It should still feel nice and light and soft, nothing forced. And we're all different shapes and sizes, so we can't go by what I look like or what you look like. It has to be how you feel your body moving. So we stand well, we turn the palms, we lengthen, whatever our body feels comfortable doing, and then we soften all the way back, and then we empty, make sure we put no tension in, and then off we go with the next one. So that's a typical movement. It's our first movement, but it's just showing us how everything moves from here and how we move long and forward, and not forcing anything. Right, does anyone have any questions about that? Is everyone comfortable? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to put some music on, and I'm going to lead you through movements similar to the one we've just done. Some of them are different arms. Well, they're all different arms, but they're going to be in either the bear stance, the leopard stance, or the dragon and duck stances. Different arms, just those three stances. I'll be repeating each movement, maybe 6 to 8 times. Please don't count, because I won't be counting. It just gives you an idea, because each movement is a sort of warm up in its own right. So each movement will start small, and then gradually it might get bigger, but we're always looking to move softly with emptiness. We're not really trying to do, say, 3 of these or 6 of these. You would start here, and your arms would only ever go as far as they felt comfortable. So listen to your own body. I will be leading it somewhere in the middle. So all my movements will be somewhere in the middle, showing you the direction that we're going to go in. I'll always show you the starting position and tell you the stance. And after that, I just want you to flow, enjoy, breathe, and just relax. So I'm going to, while you have a drink or maybe check you need more mats, I'm going to sort out the music. Now, last time for questions, because I'm going to start us in our lovely relaxation session. So settle yourself into your hip width. I'll have a quick drink before we start. Make sure you do this throughout the whole session. Okay. So from our bear stance, arms nice and empty. Just let the body settle. Just breathe however your breath is. When you feel ready, just let your arms float softly forward. And let them float all the way back down to your sides. Now move at your pace, your breath. Just taking your time, easing your body into. When you next reach the bottom, if you can, we'll do 2 more. As always, take a break anytime you need to. Our next movement also starts in bear. It starts the same, allowing the arms to float forward. And we gather round a huge ball. Effortless arms. Remember to breathe your own breath in whatever way feels comfortable. And when you next reach the bottom, if you'd like to, we'll do 2 more. This movement is opening the treasure chest. Again, starting in bear, our arms long round the ball, just as before. Now we're going to drop the elbows and hold our ball nice and wide, nice and comfortable. However low or high that feels comfortable for you. And as we move into our leopard stance, we let one arm unfold and we look into the distance. You can breathe in as you come back into the center. And breathe out as we empty the arms and look to the distance. Just breathe in any way that feels comfortable. When you come into the middle, we'll do one more to each side. And now just let your arms float all the way down. If you have been putting tension in, just take a moment to let that release. And find your nice empty arms. Still in our bear stance. Thumbs gently facing towards the back. And with soft, gentle arms, just let them go long. We flex them. And we part the clouds, calmly, gently. Empty the arms all the way down to the bottom. This is separating the clouds. Soft, effortless arms. Very gently, just parting the mist. As always, just breathing in any way that feels comfortable. Listen to your arms. Light, effortless arms. When you next reach the bottom, if you'd like to, we'll do 2 more. As always, take a breath. Join in whenever you feel ready. Either take a moment to be still and calm. Move your body in whatever way it feels. Again, do that calmly. So staying in bear stance. Nice long, low arms connecting up to the sky. Imagine slicing through water with one arm, turning it over, and feeling the resistance of the water to return back to the front. This is rolling the arms. And we'll do one more of these to each side. Take your time. And take a moment to listen to your body, to settle back into our bear stance. Empty your shoulders. We're going to expand from the inside. Just let your body open. Shoulders down, arms long but soft. Then let them roll calmly round. And soften all the way down. Empty your arms at the bottom. And turn them. Connect back to being still and calm. And expand, taking the calm stillness with us. This is rowing a boat in a still, calm lake. We'll do two more of these. Take your time. As always, stop if you need to. And starting in bear stance, palms connecting to the ground. We move gently into leopard stance. Let one arm float forward softly, returning back to the center. Palm connecting up to the sky, gently returning, connecting back to the floor, deep into the earth. I'm going to keep the legs going. And the next time you come into the center, you want to pick up a ball. And as we move into Leopard, just let your arms lengthen. As you come back to the center, into Bear, just let your arms soften. The in-breath can help the arms lengthen softly. The out-breaths we come back into the center. It's gathering the lunar harvest. Shoulders empty, arms long but soft. Just calm and steady through your legs and feet. And we'll do one more to each side. Settling back into your bear stance. And bringing one hand towards the center and the other palm down. We breathe in as we change the hands over. And we breathe out as we find our center, ground. And if you can't breathe with that movement, just breathe normally. Move slowly. But take the time to feel centered, calm, and steady. This is centering palm. We'll do one more to each side. If you can, keep the arms where they are. And just turn this palm in towards the heart. Just keeping the space. And this one floating around in front of the body. And as we settle into our bear stance, we're going to turn gently through the waist towards whichever arm is highest. Relax the arms and shoulders as we change them over. And we turn back the other way. And if you'd like to match the breath, breathe in as we change the hands over. And we breathe out as we turn through the wrist. As always, just find your own breath, your own flow. This is standing cloud hands. And we'll do one more to each side. Nice and calmly, from our hip width, we step into our dragon and duck stance. Starting in duck, arms connecting up to the sky. As we move into dragon, the arms connect down into the earth. The in-breath draws back into duck. The out-breath into dragon. And find whatever breath feels right for you. This is scooping the sea and looking at the horizon. When you next return to duck, your own breath, your own time, we'll do 2 more. And very calmly take your time, change legs. And again, settle into duck. This time for rolling with the waves. And just find your own breath, your own flow. Calming, soothing, rhythmic movements. And do 2 more of these. And change legs again. Our last movement, which today we'll do on both legs. So sitting in our duck stance, arms nicely round a ball. As we move into dragon, let the arms float out and roll, soft. And we curl round our huge ball as we move back. Again, just breathe and flow. Doesn't matter how big or small the movements are. Only that they feel light, empty through the arms and shoulders. And we'll do 2 more. Take your time. Nice and calmly. Take your time. Change legs. Settle into your duck stance. And then find your flow when you feel ready. Calm, slow, relaxed movement. Listening to your body. And we'll do 2 more of these. As always, stop anytime you need. Take a drink if you need to. we settle into bear stance with loose Tai Chi fists. And we softly spiral one arm and spiral it back. Discharging the fist. Charging it with raw energy. The in-breath draws the arm back. And the out-breath, as we let the arm lengthen softly. Ease. And whatever breath pace that works for you, we'll do one more to each side. Empty your arms. Pull back into hip width. This time our palms face our thighs. We're going to expand from the center here. Soft the knees. Softly open the body from the inside out. In breath. Here if you wish. The out breath to be softened. But as always, it's better to just breathe normally. Move slowly and calmly. This is the flying goose, flying wild goose. It has thousands of miles to travel. Calm, efficient, effortless movements. We'll do two more. Now we turn gently through the waist from bear stance. Just softly let your arms lengthen, keeping the shoulders down and comfortable. Turning softly through the waist. And let the arms empty all the way back down. Turn back to the front. And we'll do two more. This is rotating the chi. Just breathing calmly, smoothly. Have one more in this direction. Light, effortless arms. Again, it doesn't matter how big the movement is, just how it feels. And when you reach the front, if you'd like to, we'll do three more in the other direction. Calm, gentle movements. I have one more. but listen to your body. Stop whenever you've done enough. Again, from our bear stance, we're going to move into leopard stance. It doesn't matter which arm. Float softly forward. This is bouncing ball. And we'll do one more of these to each side. And settling into your bear stance for our last movement. So be as comfortable as you can be. Sit down if you need to. And just bring the palms in, fingertips towards each other. Imagine going round a ball. And the palms resting softly on the top of the ball. And then let them sink. Turning them over. The in-breath carries the arms forward round the ball. And the out-breath as we sink. As always, find your own breath, your own flow. So we're gathering in the energy. We're encouraging it to sink down within us, to fill and restore us. This is balancing and settling the chi. Take your time. The arms are never higher than the heart. And always slow and calm. And if you'd like to, we'll do 2 more. When you reach the bottom of this movement, take your time. Just bring your palms in towards the body. Doesn't matter where you place them. They might be side by side. One might be on top of the other. Just listen to what your body feels right. Close your eyes if you'd like to. If not, have soft, relaxed, daydreaming eyes. We'll take a few moments just to let everything settle. Letting the body settle, the mind, the chi. This is standing Zen. And we would encourage you to stay in this for as long as you feel comfortable. But today we'll bring the session to a close. Very gently, start to open your eyes if you've had them closed. Slowly release your arms. Just take your time. Just slowly bringing yourself back to the room. And we'll bow the way we started. We'll bow this time to finish the session. So bringing your heels together. We bring our left arm palm up. Still calm, nice and gentle. And a very small bow this time. Nothing too big at the end of the session. Just to acknowledge to our body, mind and energy that the session is finished and to prepare us for the rest of the day. We empty the arms nice and calmly. And then again, gently step out into hip width for balance. And now please take your time. There's no rush. You might want to have a little walk around, a little drink. You might want to just sit down and enjoy how you feel. Thank you very much for sharing this session with me.